I just want to talk about gardening and old people. I tell you what, there's a lot of knowledge that's getting lost right now because the generation's dying off, and there's a lot fewer and fewer people that grow gardens anymore, you know. And I called them both my grannies. One lived to be 91 and one lived to be 93. They were sisters. One was called my granny, and I called my other one Aunt G. And them two old ladies was born in 1920 and 1922 or 3. And they were raised right through the middle of the Great Depression and didn't even feel it. They were born in the countryside, Alabama, right on the Georgia and Alabama line. They used Tallapoosa as a city. They had a little farmhouse out there on 20 acres. They grew cotton. They had fruit trees. They had chickens. They had a cow that they milked. They had goats. And they had a cow that they slaughtered. And they was raised right through the Great Depression. And they always had a garden every year. And till they died, my Aunt G was in a wheelchair. And we'd still take her 5-gallon buckets of green beans over there. As many as we could get, and she'd shuck them all. Same with corn. Many ear corn. And the knowledge that them old folks had about gardening was just out of this world. Out of this world. I'm talking, and lots of it was lost. I mean, they taught me a lot. But I don't even know a fraction. Anything you could think of, you could ask them and they knew it. They knew when to plant everything. I mean, it just went on and on. And to you people out there, if you have an old family member that has gardened their whole life, it's time you take it up. It's time you learn all that, because once they're gone, that information is lost forever. And I tell you what, food ain't getting no easier to come by. They're destroying our big crops, our big agricultural farms. It's going to leave it down to the little guy, and you growing a garden every year just to have food. And I don't know if you know what starvation will do to people, but it will make you eat your own children. I've read about it in books. And it's not nothing to play around with, and thinking that your food supply is just guaranteed is freaking ridiculous. It shows how ignorant you are if you think your food supply is guaranteed till you're the one thinking about eating your kid because you ain't got no food. And that's how shitty of a person you are at your heart.